I feel extremely good. It's. I think there's a lot of things adding to this weekend. First of all, it's my home Grand Prix. Second, I've had two opportunities in the past that I've lost, which things that weren't really in my control, and that was extremely difficult to manage those very difficult moments. And also, you don't really know whether you are going to get another opportunity to win this race, and it's such a difficult race to win that you don't know. And I knew there was an opportunity this weekend. And then last, it's my home race. It's the race that made me dream of becoming a Formula One driver one day. It's the race that I used to watch with my dad that has done absolutely everything for me to get to where I am today.
Obviously very happy with the podium. It's been a great weekend from start to finish, I feel like, and nice to finally get a result on the board. I feel like the last few weeks we've been very, very strong, just with no results to show. And today to finish second is a great result for everybody involved. So very happy with that. Tried my best to try and sneak past, but just, too difficult.
Today I had a slight contact and I got the puncture and I was feeling gutted. And then suddenly the red flag that saved a bit my day, and from there onwards, really, like we expected. Pace was very strong in the race, but impossible to pass. I did everything I could to keep Lando under control, keep the safety car gaps, keep the pit stop gaps, and bring home a 1-3 for the team. That was the main priority.
Just never the most exciting race, and I mean, still like mentally, it's still straining, and you're still pushing, and you're just pushing to a much lower limit, but just a bit of shame. I mean, we had no strategy to accomplish, right? It was just hard tires until the end. At least if there were some pit stops, maybe something could have come of it, but never was. So not the most complicated and so forth, but always a pleasure to drive around here, and I think a great result for us as a team still with a second and fourth.
When we lined up on the grid the first time and we were on the hards, and the four drives ahead were on the mediums, I was like, this is perfect. And then when Carlos had his puncture, I genuinely thought we've got a shot here, minimum for podium, potentially even victory, being on that different strategy. We're just going to play a bit of a team game to try and boost our chances, but as soon as that red flag came out, everything went out the window. Nevertheless, 70 odd laps on that medium, closed the gap in on Ferrari and McLaren at the end. I think we can arguably say probably one of our best weekends.
I mean, for most of the race, we were all driving like 4 seconds of the pace, I think. So the red flag basically ruined it a bit, because then everyone had a free pit stop. Some, of course, like we did, we had to then switch to the medium, and we knew that was going to be really hard to the end. So for us, there was a lot of management involved to the end, and that didn't really make it, of course, enjoyable. The people on the hard tires towards the end, they probably could push a bit more, but on the other hand, everyone was quite careful. No one really wanted to stress their tires too much, because you know that you can't pass around here.
I think because of the crash, everyone switched over to the other tire and just managed a really slow pace. So definitely one of the dullest of races I think I've been in. But that's Monaco for you.
Yeah, it was kind of fine-tuning, bit of balance between me and strategy. Obviously myself, I wanted to push, but as a strategy, we don't want to, so kind of try to be calm as much as possible. And in the end, last couple of laps I enjoyed it, and first points in Monaco, so definitely a happy day.
I mean, I think it was maybe a bit of a boring one. I wish I had a nice race, more fun race to say how we scored our first points, but I'll take that. P9 is great for us and puts us on the boards.
I don't want to go into too much details, but it's just these things should not happen, and it was clear instructions from the team on what to do and what we were supposed to do, and this wasn't respected. So I'm just glad we managed to get out of it with only some front wing damage and a couple of things, and luckily with the red flag we managed to repair, but it should not happen.
Tough race, unlucky again. The whole weekend it seems that we are in the wrong moment always, and it was no different in the race. We started with a hard tire, trying to go very, very long, and then with the red flag, we have to fit the medium and go to the end of the race with the medium, which was a little bit unexpected. So we have to do a lot of tire management. repositioned some cars, so we got unlucky as well with that, because with Lance's car we were in the points after the first red flag. But yeah, all in all, a difficult weekend. Obviously, you learn a lot from the difficulties, so that's what we try to do and get stronger for the next one. But yeah, tough weekend.
If you don't qualify in the points, it's definitely hard to make it happen. I think the first start, it was one of our few very good starts this year, but actually it kind of put me in a position I probably didn't really want to be. I had quite a lot of momentum, and there was a little bit of space, I think, behind Gasly, and I went a bit to the left, and then obviously it narrows into turn one, so I had to come out of it, and then that allowed Stroll to carry more momentum on the inside. So he got me on the first one, and then the second one, from memory, he just came across, protected the inside, as there was Ocon not there. So his start was a little bit better, came across, and I think that allowed Alonso some room on the outside.
Wasn't so lucky with the starting compound because of the red flag, so I think everyone who started on the softer compound, they could benefit from that. But we still tried everything we could, but most of the train, it was all aboard of the Alonso train, which wasn't that fun in the end. It was pretty slow, but I mean, what can I do?
I think it would have been difficult still to get past Gasly, but yeah, it was a shame our race kind of ended after the puncture.
At the end of the day, it was a tricky race. You know, obviously being stuck underneath Fernando and Danny for a long time, he was making a gap for Lance, I believe, and yeah, it just started to eat away at the tires, and I really had nothing left on that hard tire. The rear is just completely degraded, and from there I was just hanging on. And
that was pretty sketchy moment for these three. Glad they're okay, and yeah, for myself it's a very boring race, to be honest, because honestly I think we had a pretty cool strategy until it's red flag, and then everybody is in the same boat, and yeah, there's no potential to be overtaken, and we tried to go to the end, and then yeah, the tire was dead for me, unfortunately, with 15 laps to go, so we have to just commit to another stop, basically.
It was a hard launch in the air and a hard landing, but you know, I've had worse days on that side of things, so I think on that side of things I'm okay. Obviously it's an unfortunate incident, you know, for us to retire early in the race after a long race that they was gonna go later on.
We were obviously, I lost a position to one of the Alphas, and yeah, obviously it's lap one. It's just important. If you are not in the right position, automatically you're gonna end up losing. So I was getting out of the corner. I had basically, if you see my onboard, there is no point where you see Kevin, and I was just pretty surprised that he kept it flat at that point, because it was just very unnecessary, you know.
Disappointed, gutted, to be honest, to be out after 500 meters is obviously far from ideal, and also both cars out, and yeah, obviously I got taken out by an incident that I wasn't directly involved in, but obviously, you know, it's quite narrow here going up to turn 3, and yeah, big shame. Things were getting too tight there. I think somewhat, you know, a racing incident. It looked maybe a bit optimistic from Kevin, but I don't know, Checo could have also maybe seen him and left room, so yeah, unfortunate, obviously, the outcome.
I think, you know, I was with my front alongside Perez's rear from the exit of turn 1, you know, in the run up to turn 3. And he goes towards the wall comes a little bit back towards the track, and you know, I have nowhere to go, so I don't know if he didn't see me or what, but you know, I can't just disappear out of the blue, so I made contact with the wall and him at the same time, and unfortunately we had a crash.